Hello everyone, my name is Fen Plays, and this is Starsector. Last time we were jumped by some scavengers and lost the majority of our fleet that we had worked so hard to build. I know, it was so bad. But we are currently rebuilding and we are going to go find some place to start a colony in. Now we're probably going to try and start some colonies in the core systems so that we're more defensible. Well, not more defensible, but more able to trade more effectively without having to go long distances. Because the longer distance you go, the more likely you are to get hit by pirates, I think. However, we're going to try and make ourselves the drug capital of the sector. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. But the drug capital of the sector might happen later. Alright, so I think we were trying to go here for some reason, and is that like a... Why is there a what? Oh, it's a Luddic church attacking Kaiseron station. Well, let's deliver all this fuel. I totally knew we were doing that. Really? No, believe me. And let's see what we can get here. We still have plenty of fuel left over. And have our sparks there. Not our sparks, our wasps. We don't have sparks yet. We have our bombers there. Alright, so let's go ahead and see what they have for sale in the open market. Do we have any more are there any wasps we can buy? No, there are claws. Claws are nice, but really what claws do is they do EMP damage. And that can be really good for disabling enemy ships, which as the game goes on we'll probably pick some of those up. But right now we're able to just completely overpower things by sheer number of bombs, of torpedoes. But let's see, nothing here seems to be what we would want. But what can we buy here for cheap? We can buy supplies for relatively cheap in the Persian League. What do they have for sale? So we can buy another heron. We can buy a couple of herons, but we want to build up our financial base first. So we could get another Prometheus if we really wanted to, but we don't need another one just yet. And we could get another destroyer. We will want to get another type of ship to protect our two ships here. So these converted super freighters could be cool, but I have something else in plan for those. Okay, so the Ventures, they tend to take quite the beating, and we are really using our frontline ships as a meat shield more than anything. So what do these guys have? They have a surveying equipment so they can survey more effectively. What kind of armor do they have? They have lots, I suppose, of armor. Let's compare that to a destroyer out of just curiosity. So it's about double the armor of a destroyer, but fewer weapons. Destroyers are probably better at playing keep away with the enemy. But I'd actually like these guys to... I'd like for them to play keep away with the enemy, but I'd also like for them to just be so dangerous to the enemy that getting close is a terrible decision. The Ventures, it costs 15 to deploy them, and it costs a 9 to deploy a destroyer. So the lower our cost to deploy means we can get more carrier groups potentially into a fight, which means we could potentially kill more enemies. So what I'm going to want to do is get drovers to cover the herons first before I pick up more herons, because I want to be able to create that screen before I start creating the real killing units. So I don't see any herons, so we're going to just move along. I mean, I see herons, I don't see any drovers. So let's go to refit. Is there anything we can really do for these? They don't seem to be using these all that much, so I'm considering just getting rid of them and replacing them with something that they will more readily use. The annihilators could be useful. So they can fire these 10 times in a combat round. Well, I mean, we really don't lose anything for trying. So, I mean, these would be great, but these ships don't really like to get close enough to use them. So, let's see what happens when we just outfit them. No. Let's see what happens when we just outfit them with Annihilator rockets. And what happens with that. We also don't want to necessarily put heavier weapons on these guys. That might end up backfiring. So, the expanded crew deck, that increases the rate at which fighters are relaunched. So that's good for us. Okay, we'll want that expanded crew deck here, and we have our real killer units here. We might swap these out with something else, just so we can more effectively, just so we can get fewer torpedoes, but be able to have more points to spend on other things. And here, I do actually want to see what will happen if we put a claw on one of these. So let's go ahead and slap a claw in there. And hopefully this makes this ship more combat effective, but we won't really know until we give it a shot. Okay, so let's go ahead and move forward. And here our options are, they're not amazing. We could put a fighter in here somewhere, but I don't think it's really going to be all that worth it. Okay, so we've bought everything we can. We can buy these for cheap, so let's go ahead and buy those. We don't want to pay for anything we don't necessarily need. We're maxed out on crew. How much will they buy these for? So if we go to Chalcedon, we can sell. We can buy crew. So here it's not the best, but we can sell some flesh here. Oh, well, I guess we sold all the flesh we could. So we're going to buy supplies. This we'd be able to buy it for we'd be able to sell it for a better price at Chalcedon. So we'll do that just to do so. These guys we can also sell at Chalcedon for a higher rate, so we're going to pick them up. We will want to eventually start rebuilding our amount of heavy machinery as well, so we can start surveying again. And does Chalcedon want drugs? No, but Epiphany does. They will buy these for 144. Okay, so that's not going to be great for us. I think that's everything we can do, so let's go to Chalcedon and make ourselves some money. Right, so Chalcedon is in this system, and we aren't big enough to really get away from them anymore. We aren't big enough for Chalcedon to want to avoid us, like for us to just waltz into Chalcedon anymore, I don't think. So we're going to need to make our way there and try to sneak over to Chalcedon this time. Alright, so we're going to leave our transponder off. We're going to go dark as soon as we go in. And they don't seem to be aware of us. We could fight them and kill them, but that would likely cause the Chalcedonians, I suppose, to be a bit wary of us. Okay, so none of them are 2 stars, so they're probably going to want to avoid fighting us. So let's go ahead, come over here, and let's sell a bunch of supplies, fuel and marines to them, and we can't draw a profit on that. So the Chalcedonians, they aren't going to be all that amazing for us just yet. But what can we buy? So these are nice. I don't know how they stack up to the Annihilator rockets. Let's see what's over here. Perditions. So what? How many bombers are there? It's just 2. Alright, so what ships do they have for sale? It's a good question for us. Doesn't look like anything we're super interested in. So let's go to refit. Let's take a look at... So the Annihilator rockets, they would do 1,000 damage if they all hit. The Swarmer rockets, they would do far less. So 54 damage per second versus 172 damage per second. These guys have a range of 1,000, and the Annihilators have a range of 1,500. Oh yeah, we should also have their weapons groups get set up. We don't necessarily want them to just fire as soon as they're within range. Okay. So, what if we did do these? These can fire... It fires 4. That means that it fires... It can fire 5 times per 20. So it can fire 15 times versus this, which can fire... Which ammo does it have? 50, you can fire 10 times. So 15 versus 10. These are more likely to actually hit and deal damage. They do a lot of damage versus armor, but not a whole lot versus shields. They have a shorter range, so they're really just anti-small craft, but we should have small craft superiority. So let's just try this one in combat, and we can pick up those smaller rockets later. But this, we have this ship now. The Pila, they don't have any kind of arm. They don't have any kind of. They don't have limited ammo, so that could be useful. But I won't know anything about this until this is the first one I've ever had. And if we try to auto-fit it again to where it wants to be, I think we went with standard last time. That seems to be where it wants to be, I think. Right? No, it wants to do something else. Wants to do Cyclone, and it instead is doing something slightly different. It seems to just be slapping a lot of the interceptor missiles on there. So let's see where this just goes. Let's see what happens. So we can also put the wasps on here, which we will probably do just so it has better fighters. Okay, and these non-combat, we want them to really just run away, not necessarily fight. Alright, so let's go ahead and so we've made all our, we've sold everything we can. What can we buy here? We can buy people for cheap. Go out and tell everyone we're hiring. We can... I don't know if we have this or not. Is there a way to tell if you already have it? I guess if you can right click to learn, then you don't have it yet. Okay, so those will be sold at a reduced price right now, so let's pick those up. These are at a standard price. These are sold for cheap, so we'll buy as many of those are at a standard or at the reduced or standard price, and they will be sold at Safi. So we are full up there. We can't buy any more fuel, so we'll do that and let's leave. So now we want to go and drop off these So these should go to Southie and Valhalla, and these should go to Aslan. So where is Valhalla and where is Aslan? So Valhalla and Aslan are very close to each other, I think. So Aslan, where is Aslan? Oh, it's right over there. So we'll hit Valhalla first. I suppose we will go here. So where... That's in Valhalla. We're going to Skathi instead. So, Skathi. Where is Skathi? Right there. Cool. So we're going to make our way to Skathi and try to make some scratch. So as always, we are a very small fleet right now. We want to go dark the moment we go into hyperspace so we can hopefully not get slaughtered or ambushed, and make our way to Valhalla. Alright, so we've gotten some experience for trading. Let's make our way into Skathi. We'll turn our transponder on simply because we want to stay on good terms with these people to an extent, and they want to buy these for a lot, so we'll sell them all. We'll go to the black market and sell them all off. And what can I buy from you for relatively cheap? Supplies, we'll take them. And fuel, you're asking a premium for. I remember back with the ship, we saw these on one of the missiles, so we can get some more. So Zyphos, not so great for us. Okay, so it's Tritachyon, so they will sell drugs for free. They're like, you want space heroin? We'll sell you space heroin. Have all the space heroin you want. Okay, we can buy more soldiers potentially. Alright, so let's go back over here to fleet. Let's refit the Heron. So we have our custom is right there. Let's not do that. Just no, we want to go over here. So this torpedo F5 ammo versus the Squalls has 100 ammo. And it fires 20, so it can also fire about 5 times. So it's good at knocking down shields. I think that's what I might have seen the refit ally doing, the Atlases. But we're not going to worry about that too much right now. Instead, we're just going to see how this ship fares. And so it has these 7th singles. Has expanded missile rack, so actually anything that fires a lot of missiles is going to be useful here. Let's see if we can auto fit. Okay, so it's going to put harpoons over here and the MLS there. So let's just go ahead and do that. Yeah, these, they don't take advantage of the missile rack, so actually let's strip it. Let's put the hangar on there. Let's put the wasps in here, just so it doesn't have to really worry about some of this stuff. So let's put the anti-shield missiles on there. Let's put 3 harpoons on. Let's slap as many single use as we can. I mean, if possible, so this is large, right? Yeah, this is a large missile system. So the peeler would be nice. I'm not suggesting they wouldn't be, but I just don't know what would actually be really good here. So this doubles the amount of missiles it has. Yeah. So We could put like annihilator rockets on there. That would maybe, not these, but like the medium version. But we don't have a lot of those, so, and these are just in a straight line, I think. Yeah, no tracking. So yeah, let's slap the Pila back on there. So what's the major difference between these two? This one, it does about 160 damage. So this one does fragmentation, this one does kinetic. So this is more AoE based. And its range is 500. This one's range is shorter, but it does higher damage per second. So do we want so fragmentation is pretty much bad against everything except for hull. And this one, its accuracy is very good and it turns very quickly. Let's go with that. I suppose it seems like a good option right now. So he's there. This one would also cover the rest. So let's put a machine gun on this one. These two might not need to actually be on right now. I might not need to put anything in these. But let's see what happens when we make it as tanky as possible. So in terms to weapon groups, he's going to have outrageous flux dissipation. And he has far more than he needs. So this ship would be lowering its shields on a... It'd be able to get rid of its excess flux very quickly. So if it has downtime or if there's just a lot of not soft flux damage to its capacity, then it would be able to recover from that more effectively. Oh, interesting. It decided to put the Pila and the harpoons on the same button effectively. I don't really want that. That sounds like it might be a bad idea. So let's instead put the Pila. Let's set them to auto fire so they just attack the moment they have something, because they don't cost anything to fire. No, let's not. No, let's do. Just in case I ever find myself piloting this ship. Okay, so then the squall's over there. So for simplicity's sake, I'd want to actually swap these, because ones I'll be using personally, I'd rather them just be very simple to swap between. Okay, so I have no idea if this is a good loadout, if this is a good setup. We will find out, I suppose, first time we get into combat. But I'm hoping this is good. I've tried to put these on there so that they take advantage of the expanded missile racks. But I won't know until I actually test it. First time we ever used this kind of ship. Okay, so is there anything we can do here? Okay, so we got 10 suits and Vaca Black. Let's see. So that means we're hiring them for 140. That's lower than we can normally get, I think. So we'll hire them. Let's also look at this person. So we have delivery. We can't carry that many, so we're going to decline for now. So now let's make our way. Wait, what's going on here? Okay, it's just telling me that there's a quest here. Wait, did we accept it? Wait a second. Okay, so we haven't accepted any. We don't have any current quests going on. Okay, so we wanted to go to Aslan next, and I think it might have been Kotal. Let's look at these. Where are these being sold? Highly. Oh, in Valhalla. We don't need to go to Kotal. Okay. So, we'll just go to Rosalblag. No, Raisvelg. Raisvelg. So, where's Raisvelg? Over there. So let's go that way. And sell them all in the black market. And then we will head back to Nachiteka, buy a ton of fuel, and then start recouping ourselves, I suppose. Let's go to the black market. Let's sell these. And how much do they sell in supplies for? Not a bunch, so we'll take it. Do they want Marines? We have 10. We can offload, I suppose. Alright. Seems fine, I suppose. Let's go with that. Now, what kind of ships do they have for us? Any drovers? Doesn't look like it. Also, do they have any wasps that we can purchase? So these are the other ones. The daggers are the less expensive form of the condor, and I might the less expensive version of the trident. So instead of it being two torpedoes on the ship, it's one. I'd have to really test them, but I mean, we can do that. So let's just go ahead and grab one since we have the scratch and see what we can do. So armed weapon mounts, I don't know if we have those or not. I'm just going to assume we don't. Is this autocannons? Okay, so I don't think there's anything I can really get here, so let's make our way now to Nachiteka and buy a bunch of fuel. So he's upset with us. I'm not too worried about him. Alright, so supplies, we're not losing anything. It probably would have been better just to transverse jump out of here. It cost us a little bit of supply damage, I suppose. Okay, there seems to be some sort of fight going on out here. And turn our transponder off and make our way to Nachiteka. Then hopefully we will. Oh, I don't know if we're going to be able to thread that needle. Doesn't look like it. But that's okay. We have tons of supplies. Turn our transponder on, and to Nachiteka we go. Alright, so what do we have here? So, we want to go to the black market and buy all the fuel they have to sail, all the supplies, all the fuel. Fuel's at not a good price now. Let's go to the open market first, so we can get the. Well, it's not. Let's go buy all these. Yeah, it's not the great price anymore, but let's buy all of that. Let's go over to storage. Let's take all the additional fuel that we have from them. Let's see what we can buy from them. Expanded missile racks. Oh, we can just learn that. Okay, so how do we know when we already know something? Does it tell us? Does it say, like, instead of right click to learn, it just says you already know this? I don't actually know. So Annihilator rocket pod. So this is what I was curious about with this one. So these are mediums. We could put Annihilator rocket pods on them, right? Yeah, we could. So they have no tracking, and they're going to be firing straight out that direction. We'll most likely want this to be the front, and so these would hopefully be tracking missiles. So we could get a Sabot pod. We get Sabot pods. That's not going to be great for us, I don't think. Okay, so I think we're going to stay with what we have right now, and we'll just see when combat happens how well that does. And okay, so let's go. Actually, what ships do they have for sale here? Because if I can, I'd like to pick up another Colossus on the black market for cheap. Don't seem to have anything there. We can't buy these really. So we're going to pick up another Colossus. And we're going to try and outfit it similar to this one. I think this is using the custom. Yeah. So let's try to do something similar with this one. Go to fleet. And hopefully we'll see how everything goes. So let's repair our ships. And there doesn't seem to be anything we can do there. So let's now see if there's any bounties going on. System bounty 1 day. Another system bounty in Naraka. So there are pirates here. I don't think we're going to find any pirates here to fight. Okay, so all these are really old. So we're not going to find anything there. We could... We don't want to participate. We don't want to get messed up with the raids. So instead, let's... Since we have the people, we have the heavy machinery, and we have the supplies, we have a decent amount of money. Let's look into examining some near... Let's see if we can explore some of these. So let's see, exploration. The X's are explored. The no X's are not explored. So this one isn't explored. This one isn't explored either. So let's go ahead and lay in a course for these since we're right nearby. Let's get out of here. How far is the point? Let's just transverse the zone. Cost us... It would cost us food, it would cost, well, supplies, and it would cost us... It would cost us some supplies as well. Okay, so I didn't see these guys. We likely cannot win this fight. I guess we should have transverse jumped. So if we disengage, they're gonna basically just destroy these ships. So let's try to hurt them as much as we can, and maybe, just maybe, we can save our convoy here. Oh, never mind, these guys are in the wrong order, so you go up there, you go over here, and you go there. And we're gonna try to save what we can of the incoming. Alright, so let's focus on... Let's tell our carriers we want to kill these if we can. So how is he doing? Okay, hopefully they can kill that. Got one at least. Okay. They do seem to be holding things at bay just enough right now took out that one. Let's have everyone just focus on killing him right now, because he's getting really close, and I'd like for him to be dead. So... Alright, so we've deleted him. And our flex is staying relatively low at this missile cruiser, which is good for us. We seem to be actually doing fairly well in this fight, which is great for us. I'm gonna have these three. I would like to. What is this? What am I doing? Set as target. Oh, okay. I see. Actually, I wanted to press R on this. But that sets them as the set as target. Okay. That's how I was gaining. Wait, does that mean now my ship is no longer on autopilot? No, okay. So, that's been my way of finding out what their stats are more than anything. So let's actually have them all try to kill him. Just quickly right now while he is going to be having problems. So he's down. This, we really do need to take out some of these others, and so let's put strikes on those, and let's put a void on him. Okay, so we're just trying to slowly wipe these guys out. These Annihilator pods don't seem quite out yet. And let's see, he's not out of everything. Is he out of things? I think he's out of some of his rockets. So the Pila there, they're on the way. We seem to have pushed back a lot of the enemy ships. So we still want to try and kill these off. Wait, when we click on something, does that target? No, it doesn't. Okay, but I am happy that he's using his rockets, actually. Those aren't just effectively wasted slots right now. Okay, that ship is still alive, so to speak. Let's have everyone get back together so we don't end up with a situation where that Heron's being singled out again. Glover, if the drover is close, it can actually do something to help. Alright, so they all seem to be after the spaceship now, which is bad for it. Alright, and this guy might just be dead. He's gonna be dead. Cool. So the enemy's now trying to escape. Let's just full assault so we can wipe them out. Alright, so this drone tender is trying to run for its life. Let's not let it get anywhere. Go, my claws! Paralyze it. Kill it. Destroy it. Alright. There's a battle I wasn't sure we could win, but it seems as though we have done quite well for ourselves. Okay, so are there any of these ships that we want? Not really. So we will hit continue instead, take all the credits, take all the stuff, and thanks for all the stuff. Alright, so we can manage a bunch of colonies, Well, not yet. We're able to manage up to 3 administrators. So that is if we had just 4 colonies and we wanted to manage them, we would do that. I'm going to start with 1 colony and then we will move our way up. So all of these are from piloted ship instead of the fleet. Should allow our ships to speed up. I think this would give our missiles better range than the enemy. Yeah, this one would help the piloted ship, So we're going to want to start moving in the direction of, because we have a 12 or 13 points left. And we have 11 points left. 11? I think so. We have 12. So 12 points left total that we can use. So we're going to need to use those on to really max out our pilots, well, our officers, and our administrators, and ourselves being able to govern colonies. Okay, so right now I don't have a lot of officers. I don't want to hire a bunch right now. I mean, that would definitely help the ships. So, but our fleet isn't that big. We're just going to hold off and hang on to the fact that we have a, yeah, so let's keep going. Let's jump to hyperspace, run silent. Let's try to get away from that salvage fleet. And away we go, off to hopefully find a place we would like to stay at. Okay, so I don't want to jump next to a star if I can avoid it, so let's instead go to this jump point. There seems to be at least one small planet in there that's useful. What's this? Abandoned research station. 1 planet. Okay. So if it's a good 1 planet, then that would be fantastic. Let's go ahead and... So it's an irradiated world. What can we find if we do a sensor pulse? Nothing. I didn't see any sensor lines come in, so it's entirely possible that maybe there just isn't anything here. Nothing again. That's good for us. Let's head over to this planet first, because it's just on the way. Okay, still not seeing anything. Alright, so let's perform a survey here. So there's ore deposits, but nothing that we would really want so far. So let's go to this research station. And we'll do a scan again. So maybe there's something in this debris field that we would want. So it's likely, so there might have been some battles here. So we gained some harvested organs really easily. And let's go over here to this research station. So it doesn't, yeah, so your side, it's best not to attempt docking with this station. Resembles a loose clump of debris more than any kind of structure. Cool. So it's just essentially a dead, destroyed station. Got it. So we're pretty far from any jump points, so we're going to just transverse jump out of here. And where are we going to go next? So we've explored these two. So this one, that's right, it's Duzak. It has a Pather base in it that we can't take. Let's go over to Penelope's star. Yeah, let's lay on a course, and let's see what's over there. In addition, we could go out here into this nebula, but we don't necessarily want to. I'd like to get some colonies in the core areas set up so that we can then at least have some protection from pirates. Or at least be able to trade more effectively. But who knows? We'll see what happens. We will eventually find ourselves a perpetual war with a hegemony once we get to the end game. But what can you do? Okay, so there is a bounty in Tile. So Tile's over there. Let's go to Penelope first, and then we'll go to Tile afterwards and fight some pirates. Try and get our faction up with the Persian League. So this is Penelope, right? Alright. So let's go there. So let's jump in. Let's run silent. And what is over here? There's nothing really worth it there. We do a big scan. There doesn't seem to be a whole lot here. Right, so let's just survey a bunch of worlds and see what we can find. So G. So we have abundant volatiles. We're already out here, so let's go over to this last planet. And let's see, GG. Okay, so yeah, this planet, it has all these features. So it's kind of dangerous to be in. I guess we go in a circle of sorts. This would be the next one we want to go to. So we'll want to find I would love to find something where I could grow organics. I think those can be used to make drugs. And drugs, if I recall, sell extremely well in this game. So let's make our way over here. And what do we find at Penelope? So abundant ore, so that's not bad. Then making our circle. I'm assuming there's nothing else here. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any others, so let's make our way over here now. Have this red star. We will end up passing through its corona if we just go in a straight line, so... Oh, nice. Okay, so what do we have here? Ultra rich ore deposits and rich rare ore deposits. So this would be a good one for a mining planet. That I like. We have this planet over here. So let's see what we can find. And one of the things I actually want to do is make it so that our systems are very safe and that they have a lot of really strong, that they have a strong military presence, so that any enemy is trying to come in to raid us will end up fighting the the defense fleets of several planets. So we're going to, this will probably be the one that we settle with. We probably don't have enough crew anymore, do we? We're probably losing a bunch of crew every time we do this. So scattered ruins, that we would want. Are we losing a bunch of, are we like under crew strength now? No. No, okay. So are we losing crew? We might be losing crew every time we do a survey, but I hope not. So then we have this other world, Calypso. Let's go ahead and do our survey. Moderate ore deposits. Let's go to this place now, Zuthus, and see what we find here. Yeah, okay. Yeah, we aren't losing crew every time we do it. It's just the minimum that we would need. So this one has abundant ore deposits. This planet has diffuse volatiles. I believe the volatiles are used to make fuel. So over here, rare ore deposits and abundant ore deposits. Okay. So we've explored all of these. I think this is where we're going to make our first colony. Simply because there's so many planets here, we could eventually build it up to where the entire star system is just one big death trap for people to go to. And then we'll start, and also a big money farm. So we have abundant ore and abundant rare ore. And Trinankia. Thrinakia. So let's go ahead and what is the best place to, what is the lowest hazard rating here? Well, that would be Ithaca, which has abundant ore, and that's it. So it's the least worst of our options, but it won't make a ton of money, but at the same time it will be cheap to make drugs on, I think. What does this mean? 1, 2, 3. I think 1 means it's bad, maybe? I don't know what they mean by this class system. There's no pop-up to tell me. Maybe that's how profitable it would be. I'm not sure. If you know what this stuff, if you know what these classes of planets are, just let me know. Maybe it'll tell me over here. It doesn't look like it, so yeah, I don't know what the classes of planets are. 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 and 6. But I'm definitely going to go with this star system simply because I can turn it into a big death trap. And I'm going to want them to be very close to each other. So we're probably going to start with these, maybe. Let's go back to the planets list. Let's go. Actually, where's that? So this one. Okay, so we have moderate, so we have ore deposits, we have diffuse volatiles. So this one looks really nice. So this is a 4. I think it's because of rich and ultra rich. So I think drugs is the way to go right now. This seems to have a lot of options, but I don't know that much. I don't remember much about colonies, and if you get gas from mining as well. If you get volatiles from mining as well, or if it's a different system that you get from. Let's just pick one and then we'll go with it. These seem to, I do remember that the minerals don't seem to sell for much. So, but technology can be really useful here. So what we're going to do is I'm going to end the episode here. So I can do a little bit of research, learn how all this works. And alright guys, that has been this episode of Starsector. Leave me a comment, give me advice if you want to give me advice. These are all pre-recorded, so unfortunately by the time I get your advice it'll be a little bit late. But we're going to make Penelope our first star system. It's going to be our capital system with major death fleets eventually that no one can crack. And we're going to go have a ton of fun doing that. Hopefully it becomes a huge money farm. But leave me a comment below. Tell me what you think. And like the video if you like the video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed. Ring the bell if you do subscribe. Or if you're still subscribed and you haven't ringed it, and you haven't rung it, ring that bell. And I will see you guys next time on Starsector. Bye.